up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's Ivan, a full-time artist, Ivan Patch. I'm returning to Megacon for the 6th year. Well, my 6th year. Wait, 6 years? How many years have I been doing Megacon? It feels like yesterday, but I know it hasn't been. 5 years? 6 years? Well, I think it's 6. I swear it's 6. Yeah, Artist Alley is a big deal for Megacon. There's a ton of traffic. It's a big show. I've been doing it for a while. This will be my first time going to Megacon as a full-time artist. I went full-time last year in July, so Megacon already happened. So this is my first time truly preparing for it. I've been preparing for a couple of months now, even though I've had shows in between. Just little things here or there, like, oh, I'm gonna have this for Megacon, or I'm gonna have this, and gotta get these things printed and whatnot. So I have a lot of painting to do. If you all don't watch, if you haven't seen my videos before and you don't know, I paint. I paint on canvas. It's acrylic and mixed media, depending on what I want to add. Sometimes I use ink. Sometimes I use oil pastel. Have mixed things. So I gotta get those done. A lot of paintings done. I have a big list, actually. I mean, you can't see the list really, but it's pretty big. And then I have some prints I gotta get done, some stickers. If you watch my videos, you know I love Roger from American Dad, and I have a bunch of Roger stickers I want to get done. And the most important thing is I am rebranding. I have changed my logo. I've changed my avatar recently, or my little character patch or whatever, which I'm actually wearing an old shirt from back in the day, like when I first started in like 2019. So yeah, there's a lot to be done. This will be the first time that I will be bringing all the new stuff at a convention, including like the new table display and got some new banners and whatnot. It's a lot to do. So Megacon is about 3 weeks away. And yeah, I think it's 3 weeks away. I mean, give or take some days, but I have a lot to get done. I just came from another con and I have to restock from that con, and I have to get, plan things accordingly. I still have my Patreon stuff to do. This vlog is gonna kind of cover the preparation for Megacon. So this is more of a studio vlog. As Megacon, the event itself will have its own thing. I will try to make this entertaining, but just to kind of show you all the steps that I go through for a really big show. And not like it's really any different from some other cons, but there are certain shows like Megacon and MetroCon and KatsuCon, things like that, that are like huge. They're big shows, and sometimes you have to prepare way in advance, and you got to really plan accordingly. I feel like I say it all the time. I know people ask me, like, what's biggest tip or whatever. I say planning. Planning's so important. Not to the point that you're only planning and you never take action, but you got to prepare beforehand. And I say this even though I forget things here and there. I forget little supplies like zip ties and tape, because you forget, you run out of them. But overall, I plan accordingly. I mean, this book is covered. It's like full of every time I go to a con, and I plan out what I need to get done and things like that. So some pages are a little emptier than others, but either way, I don't know. I just try to make sure everything is planned out, and to-do lists and whatnot, which is tedious and stupid to some people, but it really helps. So let's just get going. Okay, as I was like gonna stop recording and go work on some stuff, packages came in literally like right after I stopped recording for stuff that I need for the con or whatnot. So like, I don't know, I thought I'd share it, I guess, because some of it is like rebrand stuff. Well, only like one thing is rebrand related. I got magnets. I had to get my sleeves because we always need sleeves for your prints. And I got my sticker paper, vinyl sticker paper that I use because I print my stickers myself. I don't feel a need to manufacture them at the moment. I sell a decent amount of stickers, but there's certain ones that are particularly niche and obscure. So having a big count all the time kind of seems unnecessary. So I can custom, the inventory myself, and I make them when I need them. So, and here I got my laminate sheets that I use for the glossiness of them. Then I got my new tablecloths, or whatever you want to call it, because I usually have that, if you remember, which I could probably put a picture, of my display, but I usually have the little like, it's like tan beige color on the table, the tablecloth. And it kind of was like similar, like trying to show like the neutral colors of like burlap and canvas, because you know when in an art studio you paint, and it's usually the kind of like, that's the tarp, or the tarp that I have, and even here in the room, it's a tan color when I paint on it, that I stand over the paint. I kind of wanted to go for that studio vibe, I guess, but seeing as, you know, times evolve or whatnot, I'm still going to keep that overall color theme within like my banner itself, but the table is going to have this gray and white grid format, which doesn't seem that interesting, but when it lines up with my banner and the color, it's going to be kind of like a little bit yellowish, such as this, like, and then with this, I feel like they kind of work really well together. So it's going to come together afterwards when it's all put down, but I had to get two of them because, you know, just in case you have two tables, which I do at Megacon, or you get a corner booth at whatever con. So I have these things, this stuff came in, so I thought I'd share it. I'm excited for the rebrand, excited for Mega, so yeah, I don't know. Within this studio vlog, I decided to do a Q&A because I do get a lot of questions asked of me at cons or just on social media and things like that, and I've never answered it. I've answered these questions to people when they ask, but I never like put it out on like a video or anything like that. I usually just kind of like respond to them, or if we're at a con, I just explain. But I thought this would help answer some of the most common questions I get asked. So I do appreciate all of you who do follow me on social media, like on Instagram, and saw the question, the like little poll, and to ask me the questions you've been wanting to ask, so I can answer it on here. So I will start with the first one. The first one is, well, this is not in any particular order. I did kind of take it in the order I got asked, which I probably should curate it a little better. But the first question is, what's my least favorite part about painting? And honestly, my least favorite part is sketching it on canvas, like I am right now in this clip. I usually draw on my iPad or on paper, like my sketchbook. I'm used to doing things traditionally, so sketchbook is my preferred way. But the problem I have is when I come up with a sketch and I am very happy with it in my sketchbook, because I have a tendency to not let things be loose and messy and all that. And in sketchbook, I tend to make a sketch and then I start to clean it up, and then I like as if it's like a finalized version, and then I like the sketch so much that I now have to put it back on canvas, and I don't love that. So sometimes I'll try to just start sketching on canvas instead, like I did with this painting, but I don't love the mess on canvas. Like I am erasing in this part, it gets messy and gross, and no matter what type of eraser I get, no matter what type of pencil I use, no matter how light the pencil is, if I use a mechanical pencil, I use even a regular number 2 pencil, if I use anything, it always just comes out messy, and I have to erase a lot, and it's not my favorite process. I don't mind getting messy. I actually enjoy that when I'm using graphite or charcoal on like paper, but for some reason on canvas I hate it. It's because when I have to paint over, some colors are very light, and no matter how much you clean it up, you can still kind of see through it, so you have to add all these things to thicken it up so you don't see through it. So that is why some people say use like do an underpainting and things like that, like a layer before you start doing anything. But I consider I don't love doing that. A lot of it really comes down to time constraint, and every time I tried an undercoat or an underpainting, I just feel like the color palette I choose never comes out fully right. It's always a little muted, which I think really would work for other people's like painting styles and stuff, but because I'm doing pop art and anime and like video game stuff, things like that, I really want the colors to be vibrant and bold and bright, and just doing it that way kind of is rough. So my least favorite part is trying to sketch on canvas and trying to be clean. If I was to pick my next least favorite thing would just be how often I layer the paint. It is necessary. I think it's 100% necessary, but it can become tedious, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, am I not over this part yet? Like I don't understand why
the fourth layer wasn't enough. But that also could be me being OCD, so I would take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, that I hope that answers the question well enough. I feel like I answered it. I answered it with the question in the answer, so I think I answered it properly. The next common question I get asked is, when did I start painting and when did I join artist alleys? Well, I actually was not a painter by trade. I actually went to college for animation, got my degree in digital media and animation. So a lot of like film like classes, video game classes, and animation classes. I actually ended up becoming a teacher later on after I went to college again a second time for fine arts, which is where I painted, but we did a lot of oil painting. Did not love it. Oil painting is not my favorite. I'm just not it's not for me. But I stopped painting after I went to school the second time. And when I became a teacher, I had to teach my middle school students how to paint. So I had to dive back in. And I ended up falling in love with it. I started painting with the kids whenever we had a project. I would paint my own things I wanted to do. So we would be kind of painting together, I guess. And I just kind of fell in love with it again. I shouldn't even say again, because I didn't love it the first time. I liked it when I was doing it before. It was cool, and I always appreciated and respected those who like painted, but it was not something I dived into. So I had to start teaching it. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be someone who's going to teach something but not know like it really. Like, I'm just teaching it from a book or something. Like, I needed to dive in also. So that's kind of how the painting started. And then with Artist Alleys, I just, I used to attend cons, mainly Megacon. That was usually the con I only really went to. I would go to Megacon all the time, and my friends they started being cosplay photographers, and they would see a lot of the artwork that are at cons, and like kind of seeing how excited I was to buy the stuff that I was getting, and they were like, why don't you just make stuff too and try to dive in this world? I fought it for a long time. I didn't feel my painting skills were good, and I felt like my drawing was for me, and I was very scared to try to like work on my drawing skills more and more and put it out there for others to like see and potentially buy. So yeah, they kind of, I don't want to say they bullied me, and when I want to use the word bully, I want to use it in like a kind of fun way. They kind of bullied me to try Artist Alley. So I tried for Metrocon in 2019 here in Tampa, Florida, and I got in, and the show was really great. I met a lot of awesome people that I still see to this day, who are like my regulars, who've been following me since my first con, since day one. And yeah, I just never looked back. I still kept my jobs for a while I was doing this. So I only quit my full-time job last year to start doing this full-time. But yeah, I started cons in 2019, and I started painting in 2000 and I want to say early 2016, maybe late 15, when I was teaching my middle school students. This is kind of a fun question. Why do I draw Roger the Alien so much? Well, that's very simple. I'm a big fan of Roger the Alien. My brother and I love American Dad. We watched it all the time when it used to be on Fox on TV before it was put on TBS, and now it's on Hulu and all that. Yeah, I used to watch it all the time. I liked American Dad better than Family Guy, and Roger the Alien is just hilarious to me. I love his whole shtick with the whole personas, and I just thought it would be a perfect type of thing for me to create. I always wanted to work on stickers, but never really knew what I wanted to do, and the Roger thing just kind of like clicked when my brother and I were discussing it, talking about like it'd be cool to see Roger as like an anime character, or like one of his personas would be like a kawaii type character or something. So I was like, technically he was like, why don't you just make it yourself? So then I just made Roger as Nami from One Piece, and then it just fell from there. I just fell hard, and yeah, that's really why I draw Roger all the time. That's how I draw him all the time, is because of what I just said, and because I love him so much. So he's like my spirit animal, which is weird to say. It is a Saturday morning. We're still like 18 days. I think 17 days
away from Megacon. Still got a lot of prep to do, but I forgot to point out that my friend CJ, who you've seen, he got into a market, Goblin Market, which is here in Orlando. I was waitlisted, but he doesn't need to use the whole space, so he offered for me to share with him. So I will be doing that today. I forgot to point this out earlier. It went over my head this week as I was recording stuff. I forgot to mention it. So we'll be going to Goblin Market. It is an interesting market. Part of the theme is that you have discounted work or stuff that you don't want anymore, and you could bring it for trades, for clearance, discount deals, whatever you want. So it's a bunch of like back stock or just overall items you don't want anymore. So I have a couple of paintings that I want to bring. I have a couple of quite a few prints that I do not sell anymore that I want to get rid of, so I'll be bringing that. And you can even bring stuff from home, apparently. I have Funko Pops I'm going to bring because I don't want them in my house anymore. There's the ones I don't care for. So we'll see if anybody wants to trade or whatnot. So, yeah, I'm going to be packing up the car in a minute, and I'll be heading out to that. So I can show you a little bit of how that is ran and, weekly life of an artist and all that stuff.
Next question is, how do I feel about markets versus conventions? Which is ironic because this is the clips that I have here from Goblin Market here in Orlando. I genuinely do love markets. I think they are so much fun, and you don't always get to see the same people at cons as you do in markets. Markets can just be a lot of locals, things like that. Not saying they're not into geek media or whatnot, but it's just super cool to see a different type of customer, different type of consumer. And I know I just like being outside a lot, especially when it's beautiful weather and everything. So markets are great, especially if it's in between cons. If you don't have a lot of conventions coming up or you have them too far apart, markets is a nice way to make a little extra money, things like that, and maybe even get rid of some stuff that you don't want. There's certain markets that are really more about like discounted products. That's like, hey, you don't want this anymore, bring it here and you can try to sell it and get rid of it. So yeah, I like markets a lot. I can't make it my main income because I don't think my work really is curated perfectly for markets. I can do really well at markets sometimes, but I also do really poorly. So it just kind of depends, but I do enjoy going nonetheless. So it's one of those things I just kind of do in between conventions. So my next question is, which just means someone's been a follower for a while because they asked a pretty niche question. When will I be bringing back painting with or drawing with the videos? So for those who don't know, I used to create videos back in the day when I first started doing Artist Alley, and it was me painting with my friends or drawing with my friends, and we would just be talking and kind of goofing around, and we would pick a topic or a character or some type of descriptive word, and we would create a character based off of those descriptions, or we would paint something and just kind of paint together, and we'd be talking about whatever anime is out there, whatever movie we're into at the time, just random nonsense. But it was really fun to do. It's just that time got away from me, conventions got busy, and I was still doing my full-time job at the time while doing this, so it was just a lot to do. I have been thinking about bringing them back. I have a lot more like art mutuals that I would love to do videos with and draw with, paint with, things like that, and we could just talk conventions, talk geek culture, talk nonsense. Like, it's literally my favorite thing to do. If you see me at cons, you know I ramble. I have a hard time trying to stop. I'm getting better about it, I will say, but I have a tendency to ramble, and this would be that type of video would be the way to go, so I can do this rambling while creating art with my friends. So yeah, I do plan on bringing them back. If any of you would be interested in that, that'd be awesome to let me know in the comments. Like, maybe it's something I should really try to make some time for. Yeah, I really want to consider it, but only if people really be into it. So, but yeah, so that answered that question, hopefully.
It's the next day. I was painting pretty late yesterday. You saw the Detective Conan case closed painting. I'm gonna start painting again today. I'm wearing my this is a shirt I wear when I paint, and it's pretty cool right now, even though we're in Florida. So I thought I would keep it a little warm. But something came in the mail. I'm really excited about it. I feel like I'm getting something every day, getting ready for this rebrand. I have new table runners for the booth, for the table, whatnot. I got 2 of them. because just in case when I have 2 tables or I have like a corner spot. But it came in the mail and they're brand new, so my banner is gonna be gone. So let me show it to you. I'm excited. So this is the front, and the back is just regular, the color. It'll go on the table or whatnot. I'm very excited about this. It's like, because I redrew my avatar, redrew my Ivan Patrick guy. So that's this one. And then I have another one. I don't know why I'm holding it weird. I apologize. But yeah, so I have the 2 of them, when I have 2 tables. And if I ever double book and Shane wants to take over for me, he can have one too. So really excited about it. As you saw earlier, I was working on my avatar, and that's how he came out. Rebranding takes a lot out of you. I didn't realize how much work it was gonna be because I'm redoing the setup as well, the display boards, for the stickers, keychains, things like that. The signage is gonna be different. It's a lot. I have a whole different display I want to do for the Rogers, so it takes a lot out of you. But I do think when you have a clear vision, it's kind of smart to stick with that singular vision and kind of just finally go through with it. I've been pushing this off for too long, and if you are an artist or small business owner, I would say if you have this idea and you really want to do it, just go for it. Like, you can take some time, obviously, but I wouldn't take forever, because then the longer you take, the more you're just gonna push it off. And then what if you don't like the design anymore after you waited for so long? I do feel that we should revitalize every few years. I've been stuck. That's not the right word. I decided and stayed with my logo and look for too long. Even when I wanted to change it, like at the beginning of last year, I want to say, I just kept holding off. So I'm proud of making these steps. So I actually can't wait to show it to you all when it's all done. But yeah, so let me get back to painting.
The next question is, will I be traveling more for conventions, like out of state? And will I be going to Otaku Fest here in Miami in Florida, which is technically in the same state? But I do plan on traveling more. I will consider some of them that are a little too far, as much as I would have to figure that out, because flying and driving, I do like to drive a little bit easy. Driving is easier for me. I can control more. So I do plan on traveling more for cons if they let us in. Cons are really hard to get into right now. There's a lot of new artists emerging, and cons trying to make space for other people and trying to curate more. So it's been a little difficult. But Otaku Fest I have been to before. I've done well at both times. I've gone twice? Yeah, twice. First time was okay. Second time was much better. I do plan on trying to go again. I applied. We just haven't heard back yet. I don't think people realize that when you apply for a con, usually it's about 8 months to a year before the event. Sometimes they will open up the applications immediately after the event ended, that whatever year you're in, and they open it up for the apps for the next year, like the week later. So we don't always hear immediately. Sometimes we can hear really late from a con. There are some cons that have told me I'm in 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the event. So yeah, I do plan on attending for Otaku Fest in Miami. Just don't know yet. Haven't heard back yet. I wanted to give a little check-in or show up of like what I've been working on with this painting. So I'm trying to replicate this theme that the box sets from the series had. So like we have this like gritty looking tannish color that's on the box set for this. I kind of wanted to replicate it. So I have regular acrylic paint, but then I took watercolor paint, black watercolor paint, and like I mixed it in, and then I sprayed or sprinkled a bunch of it on here, and then I took a little like sponge piece and I kind of like rinsed it in and kind of diluted it to help kind of make it look a little messier. I mean, I still got some more work to do on it, but I just was kind of wanted to show like what I've been doing to get the similar effect. But yeah, no, I thought I'd share that. So hopefully it comes out well the more I work on it.
things are getting checked off the list slowly but surely. I don't think I'm going as fast as I want to, and I think that's one thing I want to address. I feel like everyone always has their things they want to accomplish before a con or for any event you're doing, and I felt really good about it the first week of these 3 weeks preparing, and not so great the second. I haven't gotten things done as fast as I want to, and I haven't gotten things done that I even had scheduled on the list. I've been jumping around doing other things that I didn't even have scheduled for this week, for that last week. But now we are in the new week. Though we have is the second week. Either way, next week is Megacon. So I'm about I think 11 days out, something like that. So I need to get a little more organized, go back to my to-do list and try to accomplish these things. I need to recognize that I've been killing myself here, working hard anyway. So I think anyone who is kind of OCD like I am, I'm not kind of, I'm legitimately, but just because you fall off your to-do list or your schedule you have planned doesn't mean it's gonna fall apart. Ryoko, is that you? My cat Ryoko's meowing at me. This is my kitty Ryoko. She does not like to be held. As you can tell, she's looking grumpy right now. You gonna be upset? I'm gonna let her go because she's gonna be grumpy at me. Go ahead. Just don't don't meow when I'm recording. All right, so something came in the mail today as I was getting ready to paint and get some stuff done, and I'm really excited about it. It's for the rebrand. So let me show you. It is a cutout of my avatar Patch. I can't back up anymore in this room, so I apologize. But yeah, he's 5 feet, and it looks so good. I'm real excited. He's gonna be at the table whenever I can place him next to my Roger that I have. That I think you all saw at Anime Raleigh. How do I travel with all my equipment to so many locations? So that one's not too hard. That's actually pretty easy. I drive to most of my shows, so I just fit everything in my car. I did have a small car when I first started doing cons, and that was really difficult. I had a Chevy Cruze, and it did what it did. I actually genuinely loved that car. But I used to squeeze in my 6 grid walls, all my paintings, all the little cube grids, an extra table, all my 5x7 prints I used to have, which was like 270 something, and I had like them all in separate boxes for all the inventory. God, it was a lot, but I used to fit it in there. And then I got a bigger car, and now I stock that car up. Like I have a RAV4, so it's an SUV. It fits things easier, so when I'm driving it's not really a problem. If it's a really big con, then I have to try to make do with not having someone come with me, because then I need to use the passenger seat to fill it up with stuff. So I do make it work. Flying is where the trouble really comes in. I've only flown to a handful of shows, but I usually fly Southwest because you get the 2 free bags, luggages I mean, and I usually stock that up, stuff it as much as possible, and then I have the carry-on item, the personal item, things like that. I just have to cut back on certain, pieces. Like I don't bring paintings when I fly. Unfortunately, people say you can ship them, but I've seen the cost for it. It's not really worth it for me. If I don't sell any paintings, then I have to eat that cost, and that's just not my favorite thing. Plus, I have heard people say that they bring their paintings on their flights with them. They put it in their suitcases, and then they get to their location and it is damaged. I can't risk that. I paint all my paintings once. I don't paint them twice, 3 times, whatever, and I don't want to paint it again. So I don't want it to get destroyed. So I just don't fly with them. So I usually bring my prints, stickers, keychains, things like that. It's easier to kind of bag them and not sweat it so much. Yeah, you do have to be really particular about how you bag your stuff. You want to protect it as much as possible. I keep most of my merch and like my prints and keychains all with me. I keep them on my personal, my carry-on item and my personal bag or whatever.
I keep them with me. And the other bags, the luggage, that has like the display stuff, like the display grids and my clothes. And like I do throw some keychains here or there, because it's easy to protect that with clothes. So it just kind of depends. I don't think I've gotten like the best about it. I watch other people's vlogs and how they do it, and I think people do it way better than me. I haven't figured it out yet. I did have a horror story recently with my luggage at Detroit, and pretty much all my suitcases got destroyed. Luckily, none of the merch or the like display stuff got wrecked. Well, one of my bamboo stands actually got damaged, but so far it's been a decent experience compared to some other people's horror stories. So yeah, traveling with all this stuff is difficult. Flying, driving, it's easier. There's sometimes I get a little annoyed, but for the most part, I feel like I have it figured out. And yeah, I would say have a bigger car. I guess it's the easiest way to put it. All right, I do have some fun questions here. What is my favorite genre of anime? Well, that is a very loaded question, and I'm going to apologize if I ramble. I'm going to do the best I can not to, because this is a question I struggle with a lot. I don't particularly have one favorite genre. It'd be easy to say shonen, because maybe I like a lot of series from that genre, but that's not my favorite genre, and I don't really think I do have a favorite genre, if I'm being honest. For those who don't know, shonen is a very popular genre of, or a type of manga / anime. Shonen translates to boy, and it was supposed to be a very, action-oriented, adventure-oriented type story. Kind of like how we have our Marvel movies and our Marvel comics, DC comics, things like that over here in the States. I do love shonen. I think it got a little oversaturated, but I don't really have a favorite genre. It'd be easy to say shonen because there's a lot of titles I love that are shonen, but it's not my favorite. I do love a lot of sci-fi stuff. I love a lot of horror stuff. I do love a lot of like thriller based things as well. So I can't really say I have a favorite genre. I also grew up with a lot of shoujo series, and which is, shoujo loosely translates to girl, and it usually is more romance based and like magical girl stuff, things like that. But both these categories have really widened out, and they're not so clear as what they really mean. There's a lot of great dark shoujo series and a lot of great light shonen series, and they don't really. I don't think I don't think it's good to like stereotype them both. So I don't know. Favorite genre is really hard. I like all types. If I was to pick one I don't jive with the most, slice of life have a tendency to bore me. I don't know what that's about. I've tried a handful. I've tried Golden Time. I've tried Toradora, but from what I understand, that's not really slice of life, what people say. I don't know. I've tried a handful. It's just not my cup of tea. But if I have to pick one that I do get really excited about, and like I guess I can't live without or whatever, I guess I would say sci-fi. Sci-fi anime really has me, but sci-fi can also be, there can be a sci-fi story, there's a shonen story or a shoujo story or a seinen story. And for seinen, for those who don't know what seinen is, that's a more adult themed narrative. So I don't know. It's hard. I'm just gonna say sci-fi because I love things like Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell, Outlaw Star, Trigun. Those are all series that I grew up on and like love so dearly. And whenever there's like a new Gundam series, I freak out. And that's a mech / sci-fi series. So like, I guess sci-fi would be the one I'll choose. So yeah. See how long-winded this answer was? I apologize. Now, in the same vein of what's your favorite something, I have a question. What's your favorite horror franchise? Another tough one. I feel like I'm pathetic in the sense you can't pick a favorite of something. Well, I like things for many reasons, all different reasons, and it's hard to pick your favorite thing. When it comes to horror, I love atmospheric horror and mind-bending horror more than like gore fest and slashers. As much as I do like a good slasher, I think horror can get really campy and not intentionally campy, and also can be done poorly, like most people consider horror, a lot of the time they just think of bad horror movies versus what's really good out there. But if I pick a favorite horror franchise, this is tough. See, I love a lot of movies, and then there's ones that the first one was good, but the second one was bad. Or maybe the first one was blah, and the second one was great, but then the third one was bad. So I don't know if I have a favorite horror franchise. I really have to think this through. This is super annoying of me, but I guess I don't have a favorite horror franchise for the reasons I said prior. I just feel like there's certain ones that are good, and then there's sequels and whatever that aren't good, and there hasn't been a franchise that's been perfect for me the whole way through, which, I mean, nothing is perfect, but I just tend to not... I don't know. I just don't have a favorite franchise, but I do love, movies like The Ring. I love the first Conjuring, the Insidious. 10 Cloverfield Lane was really great. Smile 2 I loved. So things like that. Alien Romulus. I guess I love the Alien franchise in spite of a couple of the really bad ones. So I guess Alien would be the one that I can still watch, and as much as I know a couple of them haven't been great, I can still sit through it and enjoy. So, okay, fine. I guess I'll say the Alien franchise. There you go.
Here is the sketch that I did for the Sakamoto Days painting. You saw when I was drawing it, but this is it. I haven't decided what I want the text to be yet here, and then this is gonna be like this won't be on the canvas. I'm probably gonna push him out a little more this way so his glasses can fit more. So this will be an empty space. Well, it won't be there. So yeah, this is how the sketch came out. I don't know if I have time to redraw it on canvas, so I'll have to figure out maybe I'll just finalize this and then I can try to project it onto the canvas. I've done that before, because if I'm running out of time, I'm I gotta hurry up, and I already drew it on here, so it's why not? But yeah, I gotta figure out what I want to draw or what I want the text to be. So I'm gonna figure that out. But this is it. This is Sakamoto from Sakamoto Days. I'm pretty excited about this painting, so hope I can get it done in time. So I have my sketch here, and I'm gonna put it on the canvas, but I'm running a little bit out of time, so I thought I'd use my projector to project my sketch on the canvas and get this painting started. I am gonna move it over a little so I can fit Sakamoto's glasses, most of his glasses, on the canvas, whereas originally in the sketch it was cut off. So I'm gonna try to make that work. I am gonna use this tumbler I have here to do the circles, because I'm not gonna be sketching that. So let's see if I can get this to work. Yeah, so sometimes I use a projector when, the sketch came out fine enough, and it's I don't have time to redraw it again. All right, sorry for the humming in my computer, if you can hear it, but this is how it's coming out, how sketched. It's hard to see, I know it's in pencil. I'm gonna go over it in Sharpie in a bit. So sketch on paper and see where to put it. I gotta fix it a little bit. His hair is a little jacked up. Jackie, what kind of word is that? Either way, gonna go over the Sharpie and clean up some of the lines.
Which con has been your favorite and why? That is a difficult question. I feel like I say that all the time. But there's a lot of reasons you can love a con and a lot of reasons why you can hate a con. And financially, I'm going to say Megacon is usually my favorite in that aspect. But when it comes to vibes and energy and having a good time, it's between two. Brick City Anime Fest really has become so much fun. The vibe is always there, and a lot of my friends go to it. So that's just really good energy there. And then my other one is a teeny bit biased because it's my first con I ever vended at, was Metrocon in Tampa Bay. I genuinely love that con. There's so many of my regulars come to visit. So many people I met for the first time at that con and still stick around, and many I've become friends with. The energy is there, the vibe is there. I get to stay with my friends, my college buddies, and we always get together with my other friends, and it's a nice blending of my groups of friends, whether it's from convention friends or my regular everyday life friends or my college friends. It's just a nice mix. And the con itself, just everyone tends to be like energetic and happy to be there. And so yeah, I would say Megacon financially, Metrocon for the energy, and then a close second for that is Brick City Anime Fest. It's just I'm all about vibe and good energy and positive, like I don't know, just positive energy in general. So those two shows, Metrocon and Brick City Anime Fest, really bring that for me. All right, so this one is completed. Sorry if the lighting's not great here. My room has bad lighting right now, but it is done. All I gotta do is spray some fixative on it. Anyone knows this series, Detective Conan, or here in the States we call it Case Closed. Added a little bit of some little extra features here. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. So it's for, hopefully my friend of mine or regular of mine will come pick it up from Mega. Yeah. How often do I watch movies? Well, that is pretty easy. I watch movies a lot. I actually paint and draw to movies and TV shows. I don't listen to music usually, because music actually distracts me, which is super weird, but movies and shows do not. So I actually watch a lot of movies, and one thing me and my husband allow ourselves to have as like part of our budgeting every month is the Regal Unlimited app thing. I am not sponsored by them, so I am not saying this because I'm being sponsored or something like that. I genuinely love movies, and we genuinely pay for the service. So I see a movie maybe twice a week. It's like the one thing I do where it's like I use it as taking a break from like art or whatever. And I go with my other friend who loves watching movies as much as me. And sometimes I go by myself because there's some indie movies or whatever movies that nobody wants to see but me. So I do watch movies quite frequently. I am actually a cinephile. I very much analyze movies a lot, and I don't know, I love movies a lot. I love cinematography, and I love costume design, honestly, and the sound engineering that goes into these movies, and then there's just the narrative itself. So I watch movies a lot. I love movies. What is your favorite new anime? Oof, that is hard. I feel like I'll be basic if I say something like Dandadan, but I have been rallying for Dandadan for a very long time. Then there's other series that get ignored, like Undead Unluck, which I have been reading and been loving, and no one seems to know about. Then there's shows like Sakamoto Days that I think need more love, and because the production is a little bit more on the like average animation type quality, people are just like looking down on it, which is super depressing because the story gets so crazy later on, and I think people need to give it a shot. So new anime, oh god, it's hard. If I would say my favorite one in terms of just quality and beauty and great narrative, The Elusive Samurai really recently has really like taken over for me. Like I think it's so great, and that one got slept on last year in 2024. I don't feel like there was enough people showing love for it, and I even knew what it was. So Elusive Samurai is my favorite right now, or keeping my attention right now. But there's a lot of great quality series out there, and I think everyone should kind of like explore instead of just watching the same 3 anime. But you know, that's my own hot take. I'm at my friend Jen's house because she helped me make something for the Pokemon stamp rally for my reward. So I showed you the sketch I made of Fuecoco. So she did something with it for me. So I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so I'm here with Jen, and she cut. I can't talk. What was I saying? Oh, she does cut. But she, okay, well, we're talking about she made the little reward for me. So I showed you guys a sketch earlier, but she made the little coin for me, wood coin of Fuecoco. Oh my God, it's not getting clear enough. There we go. I'll show a better shot in a second on her little rainbow thing over here with a nice light.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Either way.
Look at this bright light.
Oh, that is very bright. Here, I'm going to show it to you guys. Hold on. So this is it. Look at him. Look at him. He looks so cute. Look at him. Look at him.
Ooh. Oh, damn. Hold on.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I think it's upside down.
It is. I'll just flip it later.
All
it's
right.
fine. This is in the vlog, everyone. So this is part of the stamp rally. Well, my portion of the rewards. So I'm very grateful. It's so cute. Oh my God. Look at it. So it's pretty late, but somehow I deleted majority of my 8x10 print files. I make them. I usually export them to PDFs because it's just easier to print that way. And yeah, so I lost pretty much all of them, about 85% of my print files. So Shane was trying to find a way to like recover them because they went permanently deleted somehow because there was too many files, so it was heavy. We couldn't get my computer to do it. So luckily, I realized I have the PSD files, the Photoshop files, because I always export my images and then make a file through Photoshop. That way, I can like make a border and actually to have like an origin file like for situations like this. So I forgot in the moment that I made those. So I was a little, let's see here, spinning. I was spinning a little bit. So I'm not happy. This is going to take a while because I have about 140 something 8x10 prints, and I only like maybe 20 of them weren't deleted. So yeah, it's going to be a long night when I was supposed to be painting. So this is why you always keep your files in multiple locations. I failed to do that this time, but at least I have the Photoshop files to export easily versus doing it the other way, getting it all off my iPad and redoing all that. That'd be way more stressful. Sakamoto is complete. Sakamoto from Sakamoto Days. I am in love with this one. It's a bit simple, but I love doing it. And I still have the sketch in the sketchbook, so I'll probably do something with that, I guess. But yeah, this is it. Sakamoto snacking on something, whether it's probably ramen or whatever. But yeah, hopefully this does well at Megacon. I feel like not a lot of people will have Sakamoto Days anything right now since it is pretty new, but yeah, I'm jazzed about this one. This came out so clean. That's why I love using ink. I showed you my finished painting. Here's Stu. Come here. Let's say hi to Stu. He's bothering me while I'm trying to film. And Willow's walking in now too. Ooh. Yes, you want to come in the shot? Come in the shot. Okay, Willow, come on. Say hi. Okay, look over there. Not at me. Turn around. She's not gonna be camera professional or whatever. Are you gonna go? As I was saying, I completed my case closed / Detective Conan painting. I completed my Sakamoto Days painting and my certain scientific railgun painting of Mikoto Misaka.
I did a lot of drawing in this one. Did a lot of stickers set up or like cutting and inventory prep and then showing you all the stuff for the rebrand. We won't see how that's really completed until Megacon itself, because this is a Saturday, the week before Megacon. So I feel like this is a good stopping point. This vlog probably dragged a little. I did a lot of things in this vlog, some daily life stuff and convention stuff. I realized I feel like people don't realize how much work really goes into preparing for these big shows. Even some small shows, it takes time, especially if you do a majority by yourself. You know, so yeah, so I don't know what else to say besides I hope to see a bunch of you at Megacon, and the next vlog will be Megacon itself. I have a few things I have to get done for the con still. I'll probably have a couple paintings to finish and I think a print or two. So I'll figure it out if I can get it done. I always like to add all these things out of nowhere, and then I either finish it with no sleep or I just don't get it done because I run out of time. I do want to try to get some of my original stickers done, and I have some mini prints I really want to do, but I think I'm just kind of trying to squeeze in too much within like 4 or 5 days before, I think it's about 4 days for setup. Today's Saturday? Setup, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 5 days, I got to set up on Saturday. On Wednesday. God, I can't talk. It's early in the morning. But I'm going to try to do those things. I'm going to see what I can get done. But, you know, you do the best you can. I appreciate you all for watching. I hope you continue to do so, and I'll see you all next time.